welcome to UBEECO Packaging Services. They've come on board with FTA as our most recent sponsor. They do come highly recommended by many FTA and APSA members who have been using their services for many years.
And then the next slide, I expected that there might have been a few people that might be interested on talking about the timber and pallet shortages. Adrian, obviously being our timber business manager, will take you through a few points, but didn't put anything on the screen because obviously it's certainly a changing market at the moment.
Yeah, so look, I'd love to tell everyone I've got a crystal ball and could tell you when things may ease or start to get better in the timber space, in particular that standard 1165 pallet, which is seems to ebb and flow in terms of availability. Look, I don't think things are getting necessarily any worse than where we were a few months ago, but they haven't improved either. So we still see a lot of cost pressures, a lot of supply pressures from what the mills are actually cutting. So what we used to buy maybe 12 months ago has changed drastically to suit what the mills want to output, and that doesn't always translate to a material that can be used in a timber pallet, or at least to an Australian standard pallet. So yeah, there's still a lot of guesswork going into what's going to happen down the track, but I think things seem to be, I guess, somewhat stabilising, which is a good thing. I guess for us as well, our facility has the ability to manufacture our own timbers at times, so we can buy and bring in less desirable end sections, which may be too big to be used as they are, but we can sort of then resaw and then come up with something that our clients may have a use for, or we can turn it into a pallet that our clients can use on a daily basis. So
it's fair to say that even though we can't plan, or we don't know what's going to be coming, we are planning for shortfalls with timber like we did earlier this year. We were, our capabilities with our ownership of UFP Industries allowed us to have access to bringing in some timber from overseas, which in the history of our business isn't something that we've ever had to do. Adrian and I have both been in the game for a very long time, and even experiencing these increases like we have over these last 18 months. I mean, it's nothing like we've ever experienced. You're used to a single digit once a year, maybe. It's not been what we've seen, in these last 18 months. So our business had the foresight to bring some timber in earlier this year, and it's really seen us in a great position today, over and above, I think, where our competitors are. Our yard's full and we're manufacturing, and that's critical for us. And like Adrian said, the timber pallets, the 1165s, if you want something that's fully rackable and going through an automated process, it's a particular end section you need. We've got a number of machines here that we can work that material so that we can deliver exactly what you're after.
Yeah, and I guess the other thing people I guess overlook or maybe forget about is the impacts. Forget COVID and what's happening overseas, but the impacts that the bushfires had here in our local forestry. So that's really what's going to cause us the most pain in the coming years. As you can imagine, a tree, a pine plantation, they'd want to harvest at about 20-25 years of age to get the best wood they can and maximum yield. When a lot of that gets wiped out, that's 20 years if they plant something the next day for that to be replaced. So whilst we had the bushfires in 2019, and that's in the back of everyone's mind now, we're still going to feel the effects of that for many years to come in terms of material shortages and availabilities from time to time, depending on what it is. So obviously then you throw in COVID, logistic issues, getting wood from other countries, and the import market for our building industry, the conflict obviously in Ukraine and Russia, which means that a lot of the timber that they would export can't be used or isn't certified now because it's coming from a conflict zone. So there's a lot of pieces of the puzzle that sort of need to settle down before we get a really good outlook on what we can expect longer term. But I think things are starting to settle. So unless there's any new major catastrophes, I think things should stay and hopefully start to improve over time.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.